This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Well, it's that time of year. It's warming up. You hear, I don't know how to make pool splashes and the sound psh, psh, psh. That sounds like fireworks or something. Think of it as little waves and think, why am I talking about water? Stay tuned. I will tell you why. We'll be right back.
You know that feeling when you go to clean the litter box and it's a complete disaster? Yeah, we've got you covered. Introducing World's Best Cat Litter Zero Mess, the advanced litter that gives you 2 times better clumping and more odor control with less litter. Zero Mess combines the concentrated power of corn with super absorbent plant fibers. Translation, scoop once and you're done. Find it at a pet store near you and save $2. Visit www.saveonworldsbest.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I'd like to introduce Kaitlyn Mitchell. She is a marketing associate at Outward Hound. Welcome, Kaitlyn.
Thank you.
So I gave people a little guess about what we'll be talking about in a little bit, but tell us, what type of products does Outward Hound have?
So Outward Hound is our main kind of parent company. We also have 4 other brands. So we like to say that we have 5 brands under one roof instead of roof. But we make a variety of different products. So we make outdoor gear for dogs. We have life jackets, backpacks for camping, coats. And then in addition to that, we also make a number of different types of dog and cat toys. So we have anything from your fun plush toys that the dogs can play and tug with. We have interactive plush toys, like a hide a squirrel, where there's these little squirrels that you put inside the log and the dogs can find them. And then we also have dog chews alternatives, and then as well as tough toys, so tough rubber toys, those are all bionics. And then our Pet Stages brand also has cat toys and scratchers and lots of different products for them as well. So we got the kitties in there as well as the dogs.
You have a little bit of everything. And I like that Outward Hound has a lot of gear specific to dogs, because that kind of gear can be hard to find. And it's, really helpful for you and your fur kid when you're hiking or camping, that they can carry a little bit of gear if they're big enough and have the right tools with them for hiking, so your dog is hydrated and all of that. And Outward Hound has all of those types of products, right?
That's true. We have 4 different backpacks, so there's 3 different designs, and then one of them comes in multiple colors. And they range in the different ways that they're kind of built. So we have a DayPak that's kind of just for an out and about hike. We have an urban pack that you can kind of wear whether hiking or just out to your local coffee shop. You can pop your cell phone in there, a collapsible water bowl for your dog so they can stay hydrated while walking, snacks, poop bags, all the essentials within there. And then we have a Crestone backpack that's for a little bit more rugged and kind of for longer adventures. And then there's the life jackets. So we have ones that range from brand new swimmers that are just trying to get in there and they need extra support and flotation to more experienced swimmers where there's a little bit less foam, but it also still assists them in that water in case they do get tired. But there's more range of motion in case they're jumping off docks or stand-up paddle boards or things like that. So there's a whole range of gear for your dog as well as gear that assists people. So whether it's our 2-in-1 bottle and bowl, which is a handy stainless steel water bowl with a plastic cup that kind of sticks onto it. And you can pop that up and so it has a dog bowl attached to the water bottle. So that comes in handy while you're just walking your dog or taking a hike or even just hanging out outside and on the warm days.
And you talked about it a little bit, but we're going to focus today on the water products for your dog, such as the life jackets and the water toys. And life jackets are hugely important, mostly if your dog is going boating. I think for boating, isn't it mandatory?
it may be in certain areas that it is mandatory. Regardless on the regulations in the area, we always recommend one just because even if your dog is an experienced swimmer, they can get tired out there, and sometimes they overexert themselves and don't realize it. So having that life jacket, and all of our life jackets have rescue handles on the top, so in the event that your dog is out there playing, they're an experienced swimmer, having that life jacket on there in case they do get tired or they're out in the middle of the lake and it's too far for them to swim back to shore, that can be really beneficial and a lifesaver to kind of help them if they're too exhausted to get back to safety.
Yeah, I agree. If your dog is playing in the water and I think anything other than maybe a pool you can maybe get away with, if it's not a huge pool, get away with no life jacket. Otherwise, I think always, because we're down south. It's hot. You're boating. Chances are you're in salt water. That's taxing on a dog. Remember, they're wearing a fur coat. So a life jacket makes common sense. So you could, they're your fur kid. The fur kid deserves a life jacket. And you have it in several sizes, right?
We do. We have all of our life jackets come in 5 sizes. So there's everything from the extra small, which fits your teeny tiny dogs, all the way up to an extra large, which will fit the big guys.
I think that would be a really cute picture, seeing a little tiny Chihuahua in its own little life jacket. Do they fit Chihuahuas that small, teacup?
They do. They really fit Chihuahuas, Yorkies, all those little small dogs. And you can usually see a number of them. People really enjoy posting their pictures of their dogs in the life jackets on social media channels. So I see them a number of times on Instagram and Facebook. And it's always really fun to see someone out with their dog, having a good time, but keeping them safe, especially the little guys who, if you're out boating, one big wave might be a bit much for them.
Right. And I was talking about the pool in case it's a big one. Well, it could be a little pool, not that big of a pool, but to a little guy, it could seem like an ocean. So, and it
right.
Definitely, right? And what if your dog just is out by the pool and slips in, and especially a little dog, definitely a life jacket.
Yeah, if you have a little dog, even if you have a standard pool, just a backyard swimming pool, if you have a little dog and they've been out there paddling around and it's really hot and you step inside real quick and leave them unattended, you don't know if maybe they'll get too tired to get themselves out all the way. So it's even in a backyard swimming pool, especially for small breeds, it can be really beneficial and just an extra safety net to make sure that nothing goes wrong.
Exactly. And what does they say, a pound of prevention is worth an ounce of cure or something like that. However that phrase goes, it's not Friday, but it's Monday and it's been crazy. So I think it's an ounce. Prevention is I don't know, but you guys know what I mean. Be proactive, not reactive. And not only will it be better for your fur kid, it will be better on your bank account because you won't have a huge vet bill, or even worse. And we won't even go to where even worse is because we don't want to think like that. But if you're by the water, if you have a pool, get your dog a life jacket. And Outward Hound has an amazing array of life jackets, many sizes, styles, and I'm sure they come in lots of colors too, right, Kaitlyn? Like bright colors.
Our Growing actually comes in 2 styles, and that's kind of the one designed for beginners. It has just a solid orange, and then there's one that's designed like a clownfish. So that's our fun fish life jacket. It's like Finding Nemo, and it's very cute on all the dogs. And then our Dawson is the kind of middle line for dogs a little bit more experienced swimmers, but still maybe want a little extra assistance, and that's kind of a bright reddish orange. And then our Stanley, which is designed for the most experienced swimmers, which provides them with a larger range of motion for swimming, and that comes in a bright green and blue. And the bright colors are designed specifically so that it's easier to see the dogs in the water. So if you pick more neutral, natural tones, it can be challenging to see them, but a bright orange is going to make it easier. If, say, your dog accidentally slips out of a boat, you can see them right away in the water with those bright colors.
Yes, that makes perfect sense. And that's why most people life jackets are generally in really bright colors like orange or bright yellow or something. Let's talk about also your floaties, because you make a lot of great fun floaty toys. And I had my dog-in-law, I guess I would call her, Miss Lily, try out all of these great items. She is the swimmer. She's golden retriever, and she is a swimmer. She loves the water, and she had a lot of fun. Tell us about the floaties.
So the floaties are a brand new product that we just came out with this year. They come in 5 fun sea characters. So there's turtle, there's starfish, there's a narwhal who's pretty darn cute, a jellyfish, and a stingray. And all of these are built with material that's going to do well in the water. So not water resistant, it's going to obviously get wet if you put it in, but it's not like tossing a plush toy or a soft toy into the pool. So they're designed with durable material that's going to do well getting in and out of the water and getting wet. They also come with, they're stuffed with noodles and pool balls, so that adds some nice texture to them when the dogs play with them, and they float in the water as well. So that's kind of the key feature, is that they're designed to go in the water, but they're still soft and fun to chew and kind of for the dog to bite on and fetch and play with in the water. So they're brightly colored too, which makes it easier for the dogs to kind of see them if you're tossing them into a lake or into a swimming pool.
Okay, that would just add to your dog's fun, in a lake if they're not out too far, in a pool.
Exactly. So if you have a dog that enjoys fetching, these can be a really fun game to play with. So instead of just a small tennis ball bouncing around in the water, the floaties are a little bit bigger, a little bit easier for them to see. Some of them laugh, some of them squeak and make fun noises, and then for example, the jellyfish has kind of these dangly jellyfish legs that can be really fun and engaging and catch your dog's attention and that are fun to play with. So they really just kind of take your water fun to the next level. So if they have their life jacket on and they're kind of having fun swimming, this just gives them a little something extra to do in the water to take that summertime fun to the next level.
Well, I love it, and Lily had a blast. Where can people listening, all my pet parents and pet friends out there listening to Best Bets for Pets, where can they find Outward Hound products, the life jackets and the floaties and all of your other great gear that you have for dogs and cats?
Our life jackets and floaties are generally found, they can be found sometimes in your local small pet store, but definitely on our website, which is outwardhound.com. You can find all of our products for all 5 brands on our website. We also sell them on Amazon. Chewy.com also has them as well. And then Pet Stages and some of our other brands will be sold within PetSmart and Petco and different things like that, Walmart, and some of those bigger retail stores, as well as your local smaller pet stores.
Kaitlyn, it's been so great having you on. Now, what is the most important thing for all the pet parents listening thinking, I have to get my dog a life jacket before we go out on our vacation home at the lake or on our boat? What should they do prior to getting that life jacket from Outward Hound?
So the most important thing when it comes to finding the right life jacket for your dog is definitely the sizing. So the most important part of getting the right size for your dog is the girth or the chest width of your dog. So it's really important to measure your dog's chest dimensions to make sure that you're buying one that's going to fit them and fit them well. If you get one too big, you don't want the dogs to slide off. If it's too small, it's not going to fit. And we have a number of different sizing guides that help you understand what's the best size for your dog on our website. You can also find them on our blog and different things like that to help you really make sure that you're getting the correct size for your dog to keep them safe in the water.
Thank you so much for that information, and thank you so much for coming on Best Bets for Pets.
Well, thank you for having me.
Okay, all my pet parents out there listening to Best Bets for Pets, remember water safety. Think strongly about having a life jacket for your fur kid when you are out on your boat, on the lake, even in your pool, because dogs are not like humans and they're wearing a fur coat. They perspire differently. They don't perspire. They sweat. Their tongues hang out. That's how they sweat, I'm pretty sure. And they need things like life jackets. And of course, things like floaties, which are fun pool toys. And you can find them all at outwardhound.com. You can also go to petliferadio.com, go to this episode, and on the show page, there'll be some information about Outward Hound about this segment. And there'll also be a picture and a link to their website. I'd like to thank my guest, thank thanks to my crew, especially Miss Lily, for trying out the water toys and the life jacket. She is a water fiend. And thanks to my producer, Mark Winter, for making me and my guests sound great. And huge thank you to all my listeners for making Best Bets for Pets such a popular and interesting and great show. We have another great show coming up, so stay tuned.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back, right after we kibble a little with our sponsors.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Dynovite is nutrition.
Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free.
New improved Lico Chops with omega-3, omega-6, vitamin E.
And now, 6 extra direct-fed microbials.
Even better for the digestive tract and immune system.
Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Okay, this happens to all of us pet parents. What do you do when your fur kid's a little under the weather? That's a pun, but you'll learn a lot more about that. I'd like to introduce Kyla Sternlieb. She is the founder and president of Under the Weather Pet. Welcome, Kyla.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. It's so funny. I didn't really plan on a pun to start my show, but it's a great title, and we do. Nobody likes to say sick, so it's like, I'm a little under the weather, but it's a great thing.
Thank you.
So, for everybody that's listening, we're going to talk more about this, but Kyla created a product and then I'm going to ask you how you came about, doing this, but it's so perfect because how many of us all of a sudden have, animals and, our fur kids, and all of a sudden they get sick. And you go to the vet if you have to. Sometimes it's just their little stomach upset. And then, they're told they have to eat a certain way, bland diet and this. And you think, oh, great. Now I have to go to the grocery store and find this and find that. And you're already stressed and probably it's, if it's sudden, which a lot of these little bugs they pick up are sudden, then it's late and it just makes it more drama and stress added to on top of the fact that your, fur kid's not feeling well. So I think your product, which is what would you say? It's a freeze-dried product that you just add water and it's a bland food,
yes,
which is perfect when, your pooch is not feeling too well.
Exactly. It's a convenient solution.
How did this come about? How did you come up with this idea?
I had a Wheaton Terrier named Russie, and she was one of the great loves of my life. And a few summers ago, she was having one of those days that we can all relate to. She made a bit of a mess of the house, and I had a bunch of meetings that day, and I was busy, and I needed to get her to the vet, which I did. And the vet said she needs this antibiotic, but you also have to cook chicken and rice. And I also do a lot of fostering and dog rescue, and I felt like I was hearing the words chicken and rice so many times. And this particular day, it was about 90 degrees, and I went out to my car, and I put her in the car, and I sat there, and I thought, I have to drive her all the way home and drop her off because I can't leave her in the grocery store parking lot. It's too hot. I have to drive all the way back to the grocery store and buy chicken and rice, drive all the way home and cook it. And I thought to myself, this is crazy. Every time I go to the vet, it's usually for digestive issues, and they're saying chicken and rice. So the idea hit me, and I did some research, and I started the product. I even drew the logo with her picture, and I did a little research, and no one had trademarked the words under the weather for an animal company before, so I was able to grab that. I thought that was just a stroke of luck, and it's just been going gangbusters ever since. And our very first product was just plain freeze-dried white meat chicken and white rice. So a busy pet mom or dad doesn't have to go to the grocery store when their dog is sick. They should be with their dog, right? And they should be able to just add boiling water, let it cool, ready to serve. And so that was our very first product, and that's where I came up with the idea that day.
I think this is obvious but so clever, because it happens. My recent experience with a sick pet, my old dude, Mr. Z, had, and this scared the heck out of me, vestibular old dog disease. And That I actually did a little show at Ask the Vet with Dr. Jeff Werber, who's a great veterinarian, very well known. And it's actually something that's pretty common, but I'm not going to go into all the details, but it's freaky because it generally occurs at night and it's very scary and it looks like your dog's having a seizure. And, so you're at the emergency vet clinic. And then on top of that, they don't want to eat because they're very dizzy and you need some kind of bland food. And the last thing you want to do, even the next day, because if you're up till 2 a.m. at the of course, doggy emergency hospital, is to go find the right food and do all of this. So it's just such a great convenience to have just in case.
I know. It's got a 3-year shelf life. It's a stand-up pouch. It just sits in the cupboard, and it's ready when you need it. So we have a lot of other flavors now. We came out with a pumpkin, chicken, and pumpkin. We have a hamburger and sweet potato, a bison, and oatmeal. We have a salmon, which is all USA, wild caught. All the meats we use are 100% USA, human grade. We have a salmon and rice. We also have a turkey and sweet potato. And now we also added electrolytes because when your dog is sick, it needs a little hydration boost. So we put the electrolytes in there just as an added benefit for the animal. And again, it could just be in your shelf and it's there when you need it so you can take care of your animal and not worry about, going to the store and cooking. And I'm telling you, it always happens in the middle of the night, right?
Oh, of course.
I have 3 rescue dogs. It always happens at like 2 or 3 in the morning and it's a mess and it's hard. And you can't give them their normal breakfast. You have to have a bland diet. So that really was our first line, was the bland diets.
Yes, the bland diet. And yeah, so true. Always happens in the middle of the night. Always happens the mess always happens on a brand new rug or your new shoes or something like that.
Exactly.
And well, someday I have to do a show on why is it that your dog just knows your favorite shoe or your, brand, that rug is brand new and I'm going to do a barf on it. I don't know how they know that, but there's plenty of tile, but no, they picked that,
No, they never like tile. No, never the tile. No.
And let's talk about, you have other products that you've since expanded your line and you have, calming chews and you have some hemp products, which we're always interested in hemp products because that's very cool. It's all the benefits of hemp without the feeling of being high. That's really cute. Sometimes I think for the pet parent, that if it could help the pet parent be a little bit calmer, then that would be a good thing, but it's for your pet. So let's talk about first the hemp soft chews. How do they work?
Sure. Well, of course, the CBD is, I think the cannabis plant in general is just probably a miracle plant. We use 0.0 THC. We remove 100% of THC, and what's left is the CBD, which is the other active ingredient in the plant, which has obviously centuries of history of helping people and animals. And so we have 5 different CBD products. We have them for animals with specific needs. So these are called functional treats, where your dog thinks it's getting a treat, but in reality, he's getting a functional treat. So to start, we have a calming product, which has L-theanine in it, which is the extract from green tea, which is a calming part of the green tea plant. That's the calming part after you remove the caffeine. We also have a tryptophan in there, which is, we all know, after turkey. It makes you a little sleepy. The L-theanine just calms you, and the CBD, of course, is a natural calmer. So those are for dogs with thunderstorm issues or car travel or, companies coming over and they're stressed out. Any kind of stressful situations whatsoever, the hemp calming is fantastic. We also have a hemp joint. It's got dechondroitin and the glucosamine and all kinds of added benefits for a dog who has arthritis or is a little bit older and just needs a little bit of pick-me-up a little bit. If he's not running around like he used to, that's what the hemp joint is for. We also have for a little more serious types of issues, like the hemp immunity. This is like for dogs who might have issues that relate to things like they need an immunity boost. So there's in the hemp immunity, we have mushrooms like reishi mushrooms and maitake mushrooms, which have properties in them which are known to help with cancer patients or things of that nature. There's some great articles about that you could read. So we have those mushrooms in there as well. We have a hemp neuro for any kind of brain health for a dog who might need some added benefits for some types of brain injuries or seizures or just getting old, has some issues with just getting a lot older. So that is a brain health one. So those are and of course we have a hemp ultra, which just has an extra added amount of CBD in it. So all of our chews are 250 milligrams, except the hemp ultra, which is 350 milligrams, and it's just for overall health. And again, these are more specific for dogs who have health problems of any sort. But the hemp ultra would just be a daily chew. But again, joints, arthritis, anything of that nature. These are the types of issues that these chews help.
Can you mix them? Can you, like, say, if you have an old dog that is also forgetful, which, or just, he seems to be a little out of it. Can they have the hemp joint and the hemp neuro?
Yes, but you would definitely want to make sure that you dose them right, depending on their size. So if you're going to give a dog 2 chews a day, you would just make sure that you give, half of this and half of that. Like, you wouldn't want to overdose them. Not that there's anything in these chews that would hurt them, but you just wouldn't want to give them too much, because then you're going to need the under the weather rice and chicken.
So if you gave them too much, would they get high?
No, there's absolutely nothing in there like that. But
okay, so like people, you don't have to worry.
You just don't want to give them too many treats, basically. You just want to make sure that you dose them the correct way. And on the back of each pouch is the exact instructions.
Plus everything in moderation.
Exactly. And these are treats, so it's like you wouldn't give your dog a whole bunch of treats one day. You would make sure they get the right amount. But yes, you could absolutely mix them.
Okay, and I really like this, the oral microbiome supplement. Now, this is, I know probiotic deals with a lot of digestive issues and so forth. It looks like a little, for everyone listening, it looks like a little, I've seen this more for cats because it's really hard to get them to swallow a pill. So a lot of times you'll have to give them medicine by just shooting, the medicine inside. How would you describe the picture of it? It looks like an insulin gun or something.
So what happens is there's a dial on the end, and you would dial it down because it has these in grams, basically. So you would dial it down to it's 1 gram per 10 pounds. So if it's a 50-pound dog, you would dial that down to the 5. You just squeeze it out into your finger, and the dogs lick it off. It's very tasty. It tastes like frosting. It's very good. The dogs like it. And it's loaded with microbials. We use 6 different types of microbials, and we use a prebiotic, which is called inulin. And what happens with the inulin, the prebiotic is actually just food. It's food for those little microbials that lie dormant in that tube until they hit the intestines. And in that environment, they wake up, and when you have a prebiotic in there, it enhances their ability to survive. So they eat that prebiotic like crazy. It's a superfood, and they multiply by the trillions. And when that inulin is gone, they turn on the bad bacteria, and they literally eat all the bad bacteria out of your gut, and that's how these things work, and they work very fast. This is a fast-acting probiotic paste, and you dose it, so it's self-stable. There's 30 grams in there, so it will last, multiple times. You don't have to use it all at once at all. And again, it's a fast-acting paste, and we have, as I said, 6 different types of microbials, and we have 1 billion CFUs in there, so it works real quick.
What I love is that besides of everything it does, the packaging, which, it's a tube, but you also have where it measures down. What made you decide to put it in this form? Because this is so, you could tell that you're someone who's dealt with, dogs for a long time and is very comfortable and very familiar with a lot of their ailments, because this is just very clever. It's already, in the right formulation. You don't have to think about it. How did you come about with the idea of putting it in a tube and being able to measure the dosage? This is very clever packaging.
Well, I have an amazing team. I have a team of people who have been in this industry for upwards of 25 years, and they are formulators and they are manufacturers, and we absolutely know what else is on the market and what sells and what works and what's the easiest vehicle to get it and, to keep it. We wanted it shelf-stable. We wanted it easy. We wanted it user-friendly. We wanted it to be tasty for the dog. And again, we have this for the cats, too. And cats with palatability is tough. But if a cat is needing an extra boost of probiotics and prebiotics, you would just put it on the back of their paw. And a cat will always lick off anything on the top of its paw. So that's the way that a cat would get this type of supplement. So in those tubes, and if you see we also have the Ready Cal, which is like a high-calorie vitamin booster for cats or dogs who need a little added benefit because they're not eating as well. Maybe they're elderly, maybe they had surgery, maybe they're just not eating, or it's a cat's losing weight, you don't know why, or a dog or a puppy, kitten. You are able to give them a blast of calories and vitamins. So it's like a supplement. So it's another tasty thing for dogs. But again, with cats, they're just tough because they're such carnivores, whereas a dog is an omnivore. So you put it right on the top of their paw, and they're able to get, just a blast of calories and vitamins that could just actually help them get through the day and make them feel better. So those tubes are just an easy way to do it, and we did tons of research. And like I said, I got an amazing team who really know how to do this, in terms of formulation. And so we're having great success with these pastes, but we also, of course, have the other supplements for dogs and cats as well that also come in the functional treats. We have a whole line of treats for cats.
Kyla, you also, besides your other fantastic products, you have some optimal health supports for probiotic and for calming, and these are both chews. So,
correct, yes.
What would these be good for? Well, calming, I know when it rains or stress or something, but how did you come up with these?
Well, we did a lot of research again, and we decided that we did not want a calming chew that just knocked the dog out. Like, lots of things in the market right now will make a dog just feel so sleepy and groggy that they don't have the ability to realize their situation and stay calm through it and learn how to get used to a situation. Like if it's separation anxiety, for example, if you just knock a dog out every single day, they're not functioning. Their brain isn't functioning as well as they do on something that we produce. We produce a chew that is not going to just absolutely knock them out. It's going to make them just be calm. Their brain is going to be in a calm state, and they're going to learn how to handle the situation. If it's like a car ride, we have people calling us up saying they cannot believe the dog is panting and stressed and racing back and forth and freaking out on car rides. When you start giving these types of dogs, these calming treats, they learn that they're not, that panicked behavior is diminished. And over time, you can wean the dog off of these. Whereas if you're just knocking a dog out, if you're just knocking them out, they're not going to be able to really learn from the experience and get used to it. So we don't knock them out. We absolutely just numb the feeling so they're able to, like I said, it's a calming chew. It's not a sedative in any way, shape, or form. And it's all natural. Everything we do is all natural. And again, it's the L-theanine, the calming extract from green tea, and it's the tryptophan, which is just, like a turkey, like when you get sleepy after turkey, it just calms you down, and it's all good stuff. So it's just a way to calm a dog down, whether it's thunderstorms coming, wind, or travel, company coming over. And the daily probiotic, that's a daily chew, just like we should be taking a daily probiotic. Like, again, we've got the 6 different types of microbials in there with a prebiotic called FOS, and it is basically just a supplement for dogs that they should be taking every single day. And it's really good for their gut, really good for their overall health.
All I can say is, wow. Under the weather products for pets, you really thought about everything. And I don't know what I like best. I can't decide. I love the idea that I really like the bland diet idea because that always comes on suddenly. But you have all the, the chews for calming and the probiotic gel, which is also great. Does it dissolve faster into the dog if it's a gel versus a chew?
Well, the gels are meant for, like the Ready Balance gel, which is the high probiotic or the prebiotic. That is for, when your dog has diarrhea. That works like a boost, whereas our chew is a daily chew. So it maintains gut health overall, whereas the paste is like 3 a.m, your dog has diarrhea kind of thing. It's an emergency gel, whereas the chews are a daily supplement.
Okay. Now, this is such great info, and for some people out there, it's like, okay, I need this and this, but I'm not sure which one, when, or what, where can we find out more about Under the Weather Pets?
You can find out about Under the Weather Pet at undertheweatherpet.com. You could call us anytime. We're willing to talk to anybody anytime. We are in many stores across the U.S. We're growing. If you are interested in our products and your local pet shop doesn't have them, it would be great if you just ask them to carry us, because typically when people ask, we get phone calls and we're able to supply those stores. And there's plenty of information about us online. And again, it's undertheweatherpet.com. But again, our information is right online. We're happy to talk to anybody anytime. And we care about animals. We care about saving animals. A large portion of everything we do goes to rescue. The reason why I'm doing this is because of rescue. We donate a lot of food to shelters because so many shelter pets have, digestive issues or any kind of just calming issues, they need this type of stuff. So we work hand in hand with a lot of different shelters, and a lot of the proceeds go to something we started called the Russie Rescue Transport Fund after my girl Russie. And we have transported over 600 dogs now from high kill shelters down south to Vermont, which is where we're located. We're in the Burlington, Vermont area. So these dogs come to Vermont, and we've found every single one of them loving homes. We have also started a spay and neuter program. So, we believe in making cats and dogs and animals in general. We work with just about anything. Feel better and give their moms and dads a convenient solution to just keeping them feeling better. And again, it's the reason why I do this is to save dogs and cats. To be honest with you, I absolutely love it. So.
Thank you for all you do. I love hearing stories like that when people are so into rescue, doing all they can with, with making sure that a portion of their business is dedicated to this. It's amazing, and I'm finding, more and more companies are doing this, but I hadn't heard before of transport services. You're one of the first I've heard. I know others do it, but I haven't heard of companies doing a lot of it. And I just think it's great because, a lot of dogs in rescue are very nervous, and the fact that you're saving lives and a spay and neuter program, that is wonderful, Kyla.
Thanks. I love it. I love seeing the before and after pictures. I love seeing them in their homes. I mean, it's the best feeling in the world.
That it is. Yes. People have to just be more on top of, rescue. And I think that people are more willing to, go to a shelter to adopt. A lot of people are into adopting these days versus, breeder. Nothing wrong with that, but my motto is shelter first. So hopefully it doesn't offend anybody, but there's so many shelters and rescue. Shelter and rescue first, because there's so many there.
And there's plenty of purebreds in these shelters too,
Yeah, plenty. And even if you want a certain type, you could find it. Or there's a rescue for that, type of breed. And hey, mutts are the best in my mind.
We have so many different people that call us up because their dog, sometimes these dogs are really sick. Sometimes it's not just a, 3 a.m. diarrhea thing or throwing up. Some of these dogs are like at end of life, and some of them are not eating for real reasons. And sometimes I'll get calls from vets saying, listen, I need this stuff. This is the only thing some of these dogs will eat. Like, they absolutely love it. And that makes me so happy because I know that I have the best, human-grade ingredients. I know exactly how good it tastes because I've tried it. And, I know that it's so important to make any dog or animal feel better, And so it's wonderful to be able to do that and to also put the money back into saving the animals.
Again, well, thank you for all you do from someone in the pet community. So major kudos and thanks to you for everything. And
thank you.
Thank you for coming on Best Bets for Pets and telling us all about Under the Weather Pets, all your great products. I'm telling you, Under the Weather Pet comes in, it's so handy. And when I got my sample, a few days later, one of the dogs barfed twice. And I thought, oh, geez. And I like to go right away to some bland food. And it was so helpful to have Under the Weather bland food. It's freeze-dried. It's on the shelf. You don't have to run to the store, do all that craziness when you're already stressed because your baby's sick. It's just easy. So it's a great product to have on hand. And a big thank you to Mr. Z and Nikki, who, I won't say who did the barf, but hey, you got to try a great new product. And they loved it. So, and he felt very good, pretty much, within 24 hours, back to his old self. So, and thanks to my producer, Mark Winter, for making me and my guests sound great. Thanks to my guests. It was wonderful having Kyla from Under the Weather Pet on. Thanks to, of course, huge thank you to my audience for listening and giving me feedback and tips and all kinds of info. You can shoot me an email anytime, Michelle@PetLifeRadio.com. And we have so many great products coming up. You'll want to keep listening. I'm not going to give you hints, but there's always something interesting out there for you to check out. Thanks again for listening.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.